Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Um, Gosh, it's still like the sun's coming in April where you are. It's like pitch black here. Um, so I hope you guys had a good weekend. And I just wanted to start out with some celebrations. And Mo, you had a celebration just that you just shared, but it wasn't on the recording. So if you want to share again, you're muted. Here, let me unmute you. Okay,
Oh,
there you go.
okay. I thought it was my earbuds doing it this time, but I forgot I muted myself. Sorry. I actually was on a thread somewhere. I comment on articles and stuff like that everywhere about nutrition and vaccines because I'm a vaccine awareness person. But I had commented about something, and this radio show host, who I thought was here in Ohio, messaged me and said, "Hey, we need to talk. I'd like to interview you." And so we talked and everything, and he interviewed me today at 3:30. He's based in Texas. When I found that out, I was like, so it was really cool. Like I got to talk a lot about nutrition and wellness and how to recover your health and how to the microbiome. April, I got to talk a little bit about that, and
Nice.
it was really, really, really cool.
Wow, well that's awesome. See, there's no telling how far our reach can go, you know? I mean, social media is a pretty amazing thing, right?
Yes, yes, was really surprised. I've got friends in California that I talk to. I just made a friend with somebody in Belgium and Spain, and they want to know about Juice Plus, and that's all through my interest in the vaccine awareness group. So I've got people reaching out to me from everywhere. It's amazing.
Wow, you must be doing those affirmations.
I called Shannon today because the devil was trying to not be, I wasn't able to communicate and stuff like that. And I was like, Shannon, it's trying to stop me, but I'm not going to let it. And she said, you can do it. Like she was my affirmation go-to girl today.
That's right. And we know that when sabotage comes into our life, it's usually because something really amazing is around the corner. So, oh, that's awesome. Okay, good. Anybody else have any celebrations that they'd like to share?
I just had a great weekend. I had, kind of lost count. I think I had 8 people at boot camp.
Woohoo!
And so that was really fun. A couple of new team members getting to see what corporate's all about. So that was nice. Got to hear from John Clare, who's every time he speaks, he makes me cry. Probably because he cries every time too.
Oh, isn't he the best? I love him so much. Awesome. Well, I hope later on in our call, you maybe will have some takeaways that you can share with us. Because I know I got to spend the weekend in Cleveland, and it was really a great weekend. And I was at the Cleveland Regional, and I got to hear Dr. Du Bois. And Dr. Du Bois is just, man, I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he is just like on point. He is not losing any of his sparkle with age because he is just, I mean, so impressive with his knowledge and his presentation, and just got me so excited about, you know, what putting Juice Plus in my body and my family's body and recommending it to other people. I mean, seriously, after, you know, almost 13 years of Juice Plus, I still get so excited learning about what it does in our bodies. So good. Okay. Well, I wanted to, Wendy's not on. She was supposed to share her story. So we'll go ahead and maybe she'll join us in a little bit. I did want to just share my screen real quick, and because I want to talk about events tonight. So I'm just going to take us over to the SIM Facebook page because I want to make sure that you guys know where to look for the upcoming events in a week. Okay, so this is the pinned post. You can see it says pinned post. This is the SIM Facebook group. And every week, I'm sorry, were you going to say something, April?
No, I'm sorry. I must have feedback.
Okay. So every week, Julie does such a great job of updating this pinned post with the events that are coming up for the week. So, you know, it's really a great thing to just kind of get in the habit. Sometimes we put them over Voxer, but sometimes we don't. And, I don't want you guys to, I hate to have people get too dependent on things coming over Voxer because, if something happens and we're not able to do that, then, you could miss out on some great events. So in case you guys are not aware, the shred starts tomorrow. So hopefully you've got some people who are excited about that. Then in addition to that, we have on Thursday night, Sherry Ann Bennett and her team are going to be sharing about what they've been doing. She's been, since the last conference, she has just been rocking her business with new qualifiers, going wide, just really, really had a lot of growth in her team. So she's going to be sharing with us kind of some of the secrets, which are probably not so secret, of what she's been doing. Then in addition to that, we've got, let's see, the Campbell team call is the first Monday of the month. So it's not going to be tomorrow, but it's going to be a week from tomorrow that's happening. And then I don't know. Let's just see if there's anything else that you guys need to know about. Of course, hopefully you guys know about the summits. The company is sponsoring 4 of those. They've already had the Dallas Summit, so that's why you only see 3 here. So, mark your calendar if there's one of these that you can make. These events are going to be awesome. Phoenix is coming up in just about a little bit less than 90 days till Phoenix, so we're pretty excited about that. So I'm going to have some information coming out over Voxer about hotel rooms, but thank you, April, for securing a block of hotel rooms for us so that we can all stay together. It's in the Residence Inn near the convention center, so we'll be able to walk. It'll have kitchens, and so it's a pretty good sized room. I think it's 2 beds plus a pull-out couch, but we need to confirm that. So we might be able to have 5 to 6 people in those rooms to split if we want to. So, and then of course the Cherry Bomb retreat is coming up over President's Day in February, the 15th through the 18th, and I know some of you guys are going. I'm so excited about that. I left you guys a message on Voxer about what that is going to look like, but it's just going to be an absolutely incredible event with so many amazing speakers, and so we're really excited about that. And the 5 of us Cherry Bomb NMDs have been working really, really hard to just really plan some content that is really going to be beneficial for all of you to help you to really grow your business. Okay. So let's see, it doesn't look like Wendy's on. Okay. So I know I have some takeaways from the Cleveland Regional, but I will go second. If April, do you have some takeaways that you can share from the Las Vegas boot camp with us?
I do. Let me grab my notebook though.
Oh,
do you have a product story and a business story first, or are we just going to go right into that?
No, because Wendy's not on the call. She was
have a business story for today?
No, not tonight.
Okay, that's fine. And my notebook isn't here. But I really had a great time this weekend. Lauren's boot camp in Vegas is definitely one to check out at least once in your lifetime because she's incredible. She's a speaker for Tony Robbins and very, very motivational. And people definitely, I think, have a lot of aha moments. For boot camps, every boot camp's different. This was a lot about the business. And their team does it a little differently than we do. We're more mission driven and they are more business driven. So they very much lead with the business. But there was some great, I just think there's some great verbiage in that. And basically their whole point is if you lead with the business, then and the business doesn't make sense for people, maybe the product does. But if you lead with the product and that doesn't make sense, then you can't even go to the business side of it, or it's more difficult. So what I like to do and kind of translate, I think we've already talked about this a little bit, but some of the other verbiage I got over the weekend was using the Healthy Living Revolution as kind of the thing that we lead with, not even sharing our websites, just saying we're up to this amazing movement and it's called the Healthy Living Revolution. And we're really helping people take healthy back by, making changes for themselves, getting education. We have a simple tool, a product tool. And then if you really love what we're up to, we'd love to have you join us. So what they'll say is, maybe go give them the Healthy Living Revolution site, and then they have 3 choices. You can just use these free tools. We have workout videos, cookbooks, all of these amazing things. If Juice Plus makes sense to you and you want to get started, it's really easy to do that. And then I like to use the verbiage within that is, you know, you can order through me, you can order on juiceplus.com and get a random assigned rep, or you can become your own rep and be in charge of your own product. And then that always feels way less salesy and usually sets people at ease. I've never had anyone go to juiceplus.com, and I've had about 50-50 of either signing up to be their own rep or becoming my customer. So that was an interesting concept, just to kind of incorporate Healthy Living Revolution as our kind of first exposure versus our website or a video or something like that. So they can really see that this is part of a movement and a community they want to be a part of that's contagious. So that was probably my biggest takeaway this weekend. And then just John Blair. I mean, he's incredible. And I don't know if you guys know the story on how our first mission statement was ever came to be. And maybe a lot of you that are newer don't know it, but it's to build, Jay Martin's mission statement is to build a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams. And that's awesome. And so John Blair shared with us that was when they came up with that, when they transitioned to Juice Plus. It was a low point in the company's history, because they had some issues with the water filters and other things, and they had sold basically that off. And so they were like, now where do we go? You know, it was an uncertain time for a lot of people. And they had, I don't know if you know this, Carmen, they had some sort of game, like brain builder thing they were like toying with and starting to sell, and you get a new game every month and stuff. It was really interesting. I was like, what? Or they could do Juice Plus. Well, thank goodness they decided to do Juice Plus. And John Blair was like very certain. He had reviewed all these, 100-year-old companies that were really successful, and they didn't have a mission statement at the time. And he said, you really need to have a mission statement. And Jay was like, I think that's silly or whatever. And someone asked him, well, why do you even do this anymore? You've got millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. You could just retire and be done and, never look back. Why start all over again? Why do this? And he said, well, he just right out of his heart said, I just want to build a stable and lasting company that can help as many people as possible realize their dreams. And that was, just his feeling like, I'm not walking away from helping people. This is what I love to do. And John Blair, our senior vice president, just totally teared up as he was telling us that. And that to me is like just the sweetest, most endearing thing to know that that people like that are behind Juice Plus, and that's the real reason we're here, and that it's not about a bottom line, and it's not about anything but a true mission and being servant-hearted. So felt like I was very much in the right place this weekend.
Oh, thank you. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. That leads me perfectly into my some of what I wanted to share with you guys about my weekend. And as you guys know, I'm a big reader. I love to read, and I am super into reading personal development books. 2018, I set a goal for myself that I want to read 50 books. So I'm giving myself 2 weeks off, but I want to read a book a week on personal development. And I've just been reading a ton. And, one of the books that I just finished was called, It Starts With Why. And it's by Simon Sinek. And it is an excellent book. And, what we have with the Juice Plus company is we have a big why, and it's encompassed in that mission statement that you just shared, April, to build a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams. And also in our vision statement that's our vision statement. Our mission statement is inspiring healthy living around the world. So those two statements right there are, our product and our business, that's what we're about. And so at the Cleveland Regional, let me back up. So with this book that I just read, It Starts With Why, people don't buy what you're selling. They buy why you're selling it. You know, they buy the reason they buy what's behind it, that feeling that's behind it. And so, you know, at the Cleveland Regional, I had actually had 2 trainings that I did, and I just wanted to share a couple things from each of those trainings because you know, I love to be able to gift the markets, but I also want to be able to gift you guys, and I don't want to leave you out of this. But one of the things that I shared in my training were the success ingredients for our Juice Plus business. And you know, you guys may have heard these before, but if you haven't, I would love for you just to really write them down and really you know, take a really good look at, you know, yourself and where do you stand with these. Okay, so our success ingredients for our business are, number 1, a heart for others. You know, that comes through from the very highest leadership on down, is that, you know, this company has a heart for helping others. And we, as the representatives who share Juice Plus, we have to have a heart for helping others. We have to care more about other people than we care about our paycheck or our PVC or our numbers, or, you know, whatever it is that we're set a goal for. You know, we have to care more about people than we do about ourselves. And when we do that, when we care more about people and we make it about other people, that's really when that why really shines through. Okay, so that is the first, and in my opinion, the most important success ingredient. Because if you have someone who comes into this business and they really just care about their paycheck and they don't care, you know, they're just looking at signing people up to get on Juice Plus, you know, and they're looking at them as a sale or looking at them as a dollar amount, you know, guess what? They're actually very much in the wrong business, and they won't last. They won't last in our business. And there's a reason for that. And it's because it's not our culture, it's not our company, it's not our team, and it's not who we are. So, so caring more about others, that's the first and most important success ingredients. The second success ingredient is to be teachable. We have this incredible system, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Healthy Living Revolution in a minute. But this incredible system with missiondrivenmodel.info, with the Healthy Living Revolution, that we can plug people in and learn the system and be very, very successful just following that system. So there is absolutely room for creativity in what we do, but you know, we don't have to come up we don't have to come up really with anything from scratch, because everything that we need is already right there for us in some form. We just have to, you know, make sure that we're plugging in and taking advantage of the tools that we have. The third success ingredient is the willingness to work. You know, I mean, I think that sometimes, you know, this business is simple, but it's not easy. You know, you have to put effort in. You have to be consistent. You have to stay plugged in. You have to really get out of your comfort zone a lot and do things that maybe don't feel like it's second nature yet. You know what? Practice is what makes perfect. You know, I wasn't good at talking to people in the beginning. I had no idea how to talk to people. I was super awkward. I couldn't do presentations. I was horrible in front of the room. But you know what? I've practiced and practiced so consistently over the years that now it is like second nature, and it isn't nearly as, you know, I don't get nearly as nervous. I'm not nearly as awkward in front of the room as I was in the beginning, but it's only because I practiced that, right? So that willingness to work, those, you know, if you are just starting out having conversations with people, you know what, you're learning. I always look at every conversation I have as an opportunity to learn and to get better. And sometimes I come away from conversations and I say, well, I'm never going to say that again. That was absolutely not the right thing to say. But you know what? I look at that and I think, okay, well, I learned from that, you know, moving on, you know, next. And I'm not going to do that again. But if I didn't have that, I didn't get to make that mistake, you know, maybe I wouldn't have learned that lesson. Okay. So you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to work, right? You do have to stay plugged in, and you do have to do the activity consistently. And then having a desire to succeed. And what that means is just that, you know what, if you have a why for this business, if you have a goal, if you want to, you know, if you want your life to look different, you know, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now than what it does today, then that vision that you have for your future and what's really important with that vision for your future has to be bigger and more important than the no's that you might get along the way. Because trust me, people are going to say no to you. People are going to not understand what fruits and vegetables in a capsule, how they can, benefit you. They're not going to understand the way that our business works. They're not going to, they're going to think that, who knows? They're going to think all kinds of things about you because you have a goal and you have a vision and you're willing to work, right? But so they're going to say no. And, who knows? They might think things about you that are not very kind, but your desire to succeed, your vision for your future has to be bigger than that. You have to be able to move past those no's. You have to be willing to move past those obstacles and see those obstacles for what they are. And instead of letting them stop us, we have to go around them. There's always a way around those obstacles. You just have to figure it out. And, part of what, getting through those obstacles is about your mindset, and it's what are you focusing on and what are your thoughts and what are your own beliefs about yourself, or about the world, about your business. If you believe that Juice Plus is expensive, guess what? You're going to see, your brain is going to seek out people who also have that same belief. You're going to be finding people who also think that Juice Plus is expensive. If you think Juice Plus is a value and that, being able to get 30 different fruits and vegetables for less than $2.50 a day is a bargain, guess what? You're going to find people who also think it's an incredible value and, are going to be absolutely blown away by, the value that you can get with all of those fruits and vegetables for that tiny, tiny little price tag, right? So what are your beliefs? What are you telling yourself? And being aware of those beliefs so that you can, focus on what you actually want in life.
Want to say something to that thought really quick, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry, there's a delay. Be careful not to assume what people are thinking as well. And if people are kind of maybe turned off, oh, it's a vitamin, or oh, it's network marketing, which, we all know it isn't quite, but it gets compared to that enough. That's not about us, and try not to be offended by that thought that people are having initially, because what I love to do is search that out with folks. Like, oh, okay, tell me what you know about vitamins, or tell me what your experience has been with network marketing. And when they see that I just care about where they are at and what their experience has been, usually they will open up and kind of tell me what their objections are. And if it's a bad experience with a previous network marketing company, I'm so grateful that they shared that with me. And I just asked them, hey, would you be open to kind of learning how Juice Plus has basically gotten rid of that downside of network marketing? And then I can educate them. So don't be afraid to ask people for clarification, and don't assume that that's because they don't like you or they don't like what you're up to. It's probably a past experience that they've had, and it's our job to kind of love them through that. And if they're still closed off, then that we can't do anything about it. But most of the time, it's a previous experience that we can kind of help guide them through.
Thank you, April. That is so true. And that technique that I taught, the clasp, getting their current situation, figuring out what they like, what they want to change, et cetera, painting that picture. That technique for asking questions and for having productive conversations is so helpful in these situations, because it really is just really encouraging you to ask as many questions as possible. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We want to spend twice as much time listening them as we are talking. So, that is so true about making assumptions. Very easy to make assumptions about what somebody is thinking or what their motivation is. And so often we're totally wrong. I know that I'll give you a little picture into my marriage. My husband is like famous for making assumptions. Like I'm so grateful to the Brené Brown course that the Juice Plus company the Brave Leaders program is what I'm trying to say, because it gave me such a perfect tool for him, because he will do that. He'll just like, he'll hear three things and he'll jump to a conclusion, and it will be completely wrong, but he'll react and have a paint a whole picture of, tell himself this whole story about what the truth is. And it's so far from the truth. And so this Brave Leaders program has helped us so much for me to be able to say, listen, I think you're telling yourself a story right now, and I don't necessarily think that it's accurate. So let's stop and let's figure out. So you tell me what do you think is going on right now? And then, it's opening up that conversation. So I get to practice a lot with my husband. But we can practice we can practice all over our lives. These skills that we learn with the Juice Plus business can benefit us in all of our relationships, whether it's our parents or our siblings or our husbands or our kids, it's beneficial all across the board. But, people make assumptions. They make assumptions about what is the truth. And then, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, it's true for them. And so asking questions can really uncover what the story is that they're telling themselves, and can help us move through that objection. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the healthy living revolution, but I don't think I have time because we only have about 3 minutes. So, so let me see if I have anything else that
Hey, Carmen, I have, if you have time, I have something that I can probably net out in about 2 minutes. I think it'll be really helpful, but check to see if you.
No, you go for it. Go for it.
Sorry that the light is so weird in the hallway. So I had an epiphany today. It's really interesting. Let me see if I can quickly net this, because I think everybody can benefit from this. So customer has good experience. She's part of another network marketing company. No big deal. Looked at her as a possible team member. Not really a great fit, no big deal. Good experience with her, good experience with her child. So I've been following up. I call the reorders coming, and, she's like, on text, he's real, my son is back on Miralax, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Very similar to my son's story. And he had a good result, and she even had a vineyard story. So all these things, she's like, and I don't think we're really feeling it. So my point to this is that it's been a long time for me. When you're new, I totally get that almost every order you're like, oh God. And always, you never want to lose a customer, because you know what they don't know right now. But here's my epiphany, is that I had a gut feeling about her from the very beginning. And this is not a judgment. What I mean to say is, I am clear that everybody needs Juice Plus, but I'm also clear that I might not be able to help her no matter what. So my gut feeling was like a shwoo, that I actually lost her as a customer. Now, does that mean I am not going to do my due diligence, follow up with her, do what I need to do? Of course I will, but I feel like it is a mindset and an energy thing. And I really felt like from the very beginning, she's kind of a negative person, and I'm just being transparent with you guys. Like, I may not be able to help her, and it's not about Juice Plus, and it's not about me. If she stops taking Juice Plus, I'm sad about that. But I'm not taking it personally, because you have to listen to your gut. And I think that, I'm okay with it. I'm actually thinking, wow, I hope that she changes her mind, has a different picture down the road. And all of those things. But at the same time, I actually feel relieved. And I don't know whether that is going to make sense to everybody, because it may sound, it's really not a negative thing. It's just an interesting epiphany that I had, and that you guys can hopefully be okay sometimes, that when people change their mind and leave, it's just, that is the way that it actually is. It could be actually good for you if you can envision it that way.
Yes, you can't win with everybody. And despite our, absolute best efforts, sometimes people just really aren't open to knowing more, or to what it is that we have to offer. So, okay, April, did you want to say one last thing?
Yes, I wanted to introduce Sully, if that's okay.
Yeah.
She's a new team member, and she's on the call. We always like to introduce people as they get on, if they're new.
Hello, hi everyone. Can you hear? Do I have to touch something to be heard, or?
No, you're on.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So welcome, and I'm so glad you're on the call tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Solly, and tell us what you went to the Las Vegas boot camp, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Do we have time for me to say a couple of like big things that I found? Okay. So the thing that was, a couple of things that were really helpful to me were the advice about giving the Healthy Revolution Living website instead of my Juice Plus Sully, because that's a turnoff to just give them this pricing thing. And I did that, and now I regret like that I hadn't known that I could have given them something else where it looks like you're giving information. I like the idea much more about here's the research and here's this, without the fact that you're going to have to get into a subscription and all of that and working up to that. So that was really great advice. And the other thing that I really liked was that, I think it was Olson said that it's about, Juice Plus is a whole new category. It's not a vitamin, okay? And it's not a pill. It's plant powder. That's what it is. There's nothing else like that on the market. That's why, and it's also network franchise instead of network marketing. And that's a new category. There's nothing like that out there. And that helped me, you know, wrap my brain around what the brand is and how I can present it to people in a different way. So those things in particular, I found extremely helpful and worthy of my time.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Sometimes you just have to tweak. We just have to tweak how we think about things, right?
Right.
Awesome. Well, we are kind of out of time, but I just wanted to tell you guys that I had a big aha moment about the healthy living revolution as I was preparing my my talk for Cleveland, and I'm going to go live. I'm making a commitment to you guys. I'm going to go live in our Team Women website, our Facebook page this week, and I'm going to tell you about it, okay? Because I don't want to keep you on the call anymore. But I just, you know, one of the things Simon Sinek says is that, you know, he's talking about, he talked a lot about Apple in the book because Apple has such a strong following. You know, people will stick with Apple, you know, through thick and thin, no matter what. Right. And he talks about, you know, there's like 3 different classes of people. There are the early adopters, those people who waited in line for the first iPhone, even though it was completely unproven and it cost $1 million and nobody had ever had one before, but they waited in line and they paid more money, even though the technology wasn't perfect. Right. So we have the early adopters, and then we have the people who kind of wait and sit back and say, well, let me see how this works for you first, and let me let the price come down a little bit and, you know, improve the technology, and then I'll get started. And then you've got the people who like just, you know, the only reason why they're, you know, getting a smartphone is because like they don't make rotary phones anymore, right? That's the only reason okay. So who do we want to be? Okay. So as a team, you know, I think in some things we're early adopters, but with the Healthy Living Revolution, I feel like we as a team have kind of sat back and said, okay, show me how it works for you. And then I'm going to, you know, learn from what has worked for you. But now is the time, you guys. There are so many people having so much success using the Healthy Living Revolution. And I have learned so much just in the month of January alone about the Healthy Living Revolution that as a team, I want us to really just like go gung-ho crazy with sharing the Healthy Living Revolution and really, you know, joining the revolution. You know, we've talked about the revolution. We are part of the revolution because we, you know, we're in the Juice Plus community. And so by de facto, we are part of the revolution, but I don't want to just be de facto members of the revolution. I want to be in the front lines. You know, I want to be I want our team to be in the front lines of people of that healthy living revolution, helping people take healthy back. Okay. So, you know, there's some great ideas that are out there that are being shared. And, you know, what floats your boat, that's the one you go with. Okay. So if you want to make a decision that you and your team are going to help in the year 2018, you're going to help, you know, 100 kids get sponsored into the Children's Health Study. Okay, you know, let's make that a goal. Put out 100 Post-it notes, and as you sign up people on the Children's Health Study, you know, write those kids' names down. You know, there's so many different facets of it.
Idea.
Yeah. So, you know, there's so many different facets of it. And then, you know, the other thing that we can just be doing is just knowing what the resources are and then using them to start the conversation. You know, how many times do you meet somebody and you're just chatting and you find out that they're a runner? Well, why isn't the next thing that we say, oh, you're a runner. Do you do charity miles? That is such an easy way to get into a conversation about the healthy living revolution. We have a team for charity miles. If they're already running and they're not doing charity miles, they should, and they should join our team. And then we can tell them who we are as a healthy living revolution and what our mission is. So those are just a couple of small ideas that that I wanted to share with you guys. And I know now we're like way over time. But if anyone else has anything to say, if not, I can turn off the recording. Are we good? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go live this week, and I'm gonna share about I've told a couple of you guys about it, but about using the Healthy Living Revolution as a speaking tool as you're doing presentations and things like that. We first got that idea from Jake and Jenna at the Pajama Regional, but I know that a couple of us have actually done this, and it's been working really great. So I wanted to kind of share it with the greater team so that we can all be doing it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Turn off the record.